Welcome back. Let's tone things down away from the big conversation around politics and, let's talk about some issues around lifestyle, entertainment, creative industry in that sense. I've been joined by a gentleman whose sound has been literally popping the area, especially the gospel scene. Gaise Baba is right here with us in the studio. Gaise Baba, let's start with your real name first. What's your real name?
Akiade Ibuoye.
Amazing. So, I followed what happened with the song. It was when the song had come out, you and Lawrence Oyo, that's why I like that, yeah, whatever that shout is that he did. It caught my attention. I like TikTok. I think I saw it on TikTok also. Yeah. So, but as I listened to the song, I took my time and I had to listen from the beginning to the end. There's so many other parts of the song that people are not aware of, that are quite great. But when I listened to this, I realized that this is more like a remix of the song, right?
Yeah.
So when did you release the first one?
July last year.
July last year. Amazing. So I went to the numbers. I like numbers. I went to the numbers. I said, okay, so this song has been released. I saw, 500,000, about that number. As at the day I saw it. And then we're looking at the day I was looking at about 72 hours later. This was almost maybe 2 million, 1.9 that or thereabout.
Yeah.
Tell us what changed. What happened? You've been around. People don't know you've been around.
If I tell you, say I know, I lie. Yeah, I've been around. I mean, this is my 15th year in the industry, in the music and entertainment industry. I'm an economics graduate. Let's put that out there. I finished from Obafemiolo University.
Great Ife.
Great Ife. In 2008. I served 2009, finished my youth service. So I qualified to rise to as high as any office in Nigeria, since it's politics you were discussing before.
So that in case they need your CV.
In case they need my CV, I served. And then right after my youth service, I got an opportunity I got a record deal opportunity. So I had to make a choice if I was going to the corporate world to join maybe like one of the big 4 consulting firms or going to music. I chose music. And so, yeah, 15 years I've been here.
And, you say you don't know what happened, but I'm sure that you're also following talk on social media about, this sound, and a video has since surfaced, about your participation at the Hallelujah Challenge of Pastor Nathaniel Bassey in 2022, prior to the release of this song, where he prophesied over your career. Are you attributing what may have happened now to back then?
Yeah, thanks, man. Good question. You have to attribute what's happening. If you want to attribute what's happening right now, it's a series of seeds, a series of events. That's a major one, but I see what happened that night, that's 11th into 12th of November 2022, as a public affirmation of dealings that I've had in my inner place, if I put it that way. I don't think things just happen. I can run you through how things evolved, even for me to have been at the place where Pastor Nat saw me, to know that I was around, and then ask them to ask me to come to the front.
Did you know him? Did you have a prior relationship with him before that time?
I mean, it's not like we're not close like that, but he knows me. I'm in the game. I've been in this set since 2010. We met a couple of different times. So, I mean, first name basis. Yes. So, I mean, which was why when he saw me, I was like, oh, guess you're around. Please, Chiget. But for me to have, for our paths to have aligned at that moment is beyond, is not random. So that's what I'm saying. So at the risk of sounding, spiritual, but things are spiritual if we do say so. You get so, but that was a major event that has something to play. I believe so. which is why I took it in. If you saw my comment on his post, you see what I said I did following that night. People see what happens on the outside. They don't see what happens on the inside. And things that happen on the outside are a product of what you're doing on the inside. You get? So I just gave a bit of an expose on now the effort we make inside with this, so now as we work this thing with this, that kind of thing. Story I'm chipping in pidgin.
It's fine.
You know, one of the things I like about you, your depth of thought, your depth of mind is very profound. I've listened to some of your interviews and I'm like, okay, this guy has to be taken seriously. It doesn't sound to me like you're flying the wall. It tells me that you have some level of depth. But now, taking that depth and putting out sounds that are not in that territory, you know, when you hear a Dunsin or you hear the Nathaniel, what's that guy's name? Theophilus
Sunday.
You know, all this spiritism, okay, let me use a careful word, like that spirit movement kind of sound.
Temple sound.
If you call it that way. But you are trying to mainstream gospel, or that's the way the sound looks like. Okay, let's speak what is going on. I know Prince Emmanuel, for instance. I know one guy called Great Man Tati. I know one guy called Ocean, something.
Endless Ocean.
So, is it that because...
Ocean something.
I can't
No, I'm cool. I'm just like, Endless the Blue. You know, it's fire, it's cool.
No, but I knew a song before I even knew who it was. I didn't even know if
it usually happens like that.
Yeah, so my question is, given the fact that some of us know how deep you are, but the sound you used to convey, does it compromise the quality of your depth in that sense, if you understand my drift?
I completely understand you, and I'm happy with the question. The question makes me happy. I can talk. You know, I've been big on this for at least 2 years. I've been speaking very loudly on it on my podcast, Black Flame. And I'm saying that it is not the sound that determines how deep a song is. It is not the genre. Depth is depth, whether it is being passed through Fuji, or being passed through jazz, or being passed through rap, or being passed through Afro beats, Afro gospel, or being passed through the temple sound. So if you listen to a song that is sung by Theophilus Sunday, if you're, you know, Christian and, you know, you vibe to that kind of music, you listen to a song by Theophilus Sunday and you're like, oh man, this song moves me, right? You can get the exact same impact even if that content is riding on a different genre, a different sound, if you get what I mean. So, I mean, I shared some time back and I was like, whether you're singing from fellowship to partnership, God and I, we can change the world, or you're singing Elijah level, Aransareju, Ferrari law, you are communicating scripture through sound. Is the genre that is different. Now, the problem that we've had in the body or in faith-based circles is because of the way people have been conditioned. People tend to elevate temple sounds as more spiritual. We're here to break that.
Okay, my colleague in Abuja, Kayode, has some questions, but we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, welcome back to the program. We still have with us Gaise Baba. He's live in our Lagos studio. I must say, as an aside, I look forward to you crossing over into politics. You've given us your CV, so it'll be great to see you in politics. Since your song is now mainstream, it has crossed from gospel to mainstream, so it'll be great to see you in politics, just as an aside. But let's get back to your music. And at this moment, I want to just go down a memory lane and maybe sing some of your songs. Little drops make an ocean. Every little step that we take, moves that we make. I mean, you did that. You did follow. I mean, your songs from way back then, they were deep. They were very, you know, conscious songs. And I must say that it's great to see your trajectory. You stayed at it, you did your own thing. Now the world is sort of catching up. My question to you is gospel music now the new mainstream music?
Thank you, Cardi. And nice one. I can see you're enjoying Abuja. Is gospel music now the mainstream? It's a tricky question. Very tricky, because the mainstream is still like popping, but everyone can see, and even the industry is paying attention to the fact that some of the biggest songs we've had this year are gospel. We've had Favor, we've had Will Be Many, now we have No Turning Back too, you know. And even the industry knows that for the last maybe like 1 to 2 years, Afrobeats hasn't had a breakout artist. So the industry is scrambling for newness. And I tweeted, I think earlier this year or late last year, I posted a tweet and I said in Yoruba, Afrobeats t-shirt Afro gospel will come by. Which means Afrobeats has had its run. It's time for Afro gospel. And I still said it because I had a nomination on the Headies Awards and I was asked about it. I said it again. I said it might sound distant to you, but people should just pay attention and listen and see how things are evolving, how things are playing out. You know, it'll be like a dream. The world don't know what's coming. So what we see right now is still a tip of the iceberg. This mountain is going to be exalted above all the mountains on the earth. And I say that with every sense of assuredness, you know. And people come from all over the world to say, we want to see what you have. We want to experience what you have. Because you will not be able to gainsay the results. You'll not be able to argue. It will be clear. It will be clear that this is white. And what we've been shouting about since is cream. I'll leave it like that.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. Gaise Baba, I mean, you see content in that song with Lawrence. Sorry, I'm talking content creators that were known to do a certain kind of content, right? Now they're using that song, and it's just amazing to see the numbers it is doing. And that's why I asked that question. I mean, I wanted to be in Lagos for this conversation, but, you know, life happens. But I don't want to rob our viewers of a little bit of I Have Decided this morning. Because, hey, it's like the biggest song in Nigeria, by extension in Africa today. And we have you on the show. So I want to make the most of it. Jeffrey and Bukola will be the backup singers. I'll be the vixen here in Abuja. But let's do a part of it on the show this morning.
Come on now. You have a
dance. Actually, I'm looking forward to that dance.
When we get, no, Kayode has a bigger baritone. when we get to that, that's the part I want to do. So just remind me.
You can as well just start from there.
Okay, that.
Yeah. I will never turn back.
No.
It's already too late.
No.
It don't make sense.
No.
Where am I going to?
No.
It's already too late.
No.
I've already come too far.
No.
And there were 2 lines that were in the voice note. This is exclusive gist. There were 2 lines that were in the voice note that Lawrence Oyo sent to me that didn't make it to the record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was, what will I tell Jesus? I cannot waste that blood. It's like, but Lawrence is a vibe.
Yeah,
He's very spiritual, very anointed, but he's a vibe. Who was I speaking with? I was speaking with the producer.
I wanted to even come to the question of how you and Lawrence, because Lawrence has a very, permit me to use the word, irregular, it sounds like just jago.
How we bring
jugular.
And the chant, you know.
And the chant.
That he did in the spirit in that song also added another level to it.
I mean, everything was, and it was live. It was live on stage.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was live. He had written his lines. So the lines that he had written were the, we will burn the world, we will
shift the culture.
We'll spend the billions, we'll spend for Jesus. till we shift the culture, right? So he had written those lines that morning, by the way. It wasn't way back. It was that morning on his way to service that he wrote those lines. And then when we got on stage, he then was just ad-libbing. All those, I will never turn back. He's already to it, right on stage. The chant is like right there, you get.
Not premeditated.
Not premeditated. I mean, he's used to chanting.
Yeah.
You get. So if you see someone who's freestyles, if you see a rapper who freestyles, the rapper is freestyling from a bank. It's not that those words are new. There is a bank of several words that is in the person's house.
Okay.
So the person is just pulling out rhymes and just making it work. So that's how it is for him with chants. You know, yes, it's spiritual, but then there's a skill to it as well, because you can see the melody and the words play and the bounce on the beats is still fresh, which is what, I mean, it messes with people's minds, like, how do you chant rap? How do you, like, who be this guy?
Was he speaking in tongues?
Yeah, he was. So kind of asked an important question earlier on, and you answered in the affirmative that Afro soul is taking over, Afro gospel is taking over Afrobeat. One significant line.
Afrobeats deal. Afrobeats go doing thing, right? But I said Afrobeats has run its course.
It's not time for new song.
Time for Afro gospel. That's what I said.
So one significant line from Lawrence Oyo's chant is to shift the culture.
Exactly.
And somebody has been reflecting on that, and that got me thinking as well. This is what is happening with our youth, you know, embracing a pop culture. But are they reflecting on the words in that song? No turning back. It's like a calling to covenant. So beyond this new culture, are the youths aware, you know, of the implications, such that it's not just an embrace of this hip, holy lifestyle, but the implications of it? I wonder if you're thinking about that as well.
If you can answer in 30 seconds.
I'll try. Yes, I say yes. These are not random, playful people. These are young people on fire for God who at the same time love to have a great time. Last year, we had a retreat for creatives. It's called Foxes on Fire. 3 days on a fast, praying, receiving word, receiving instruction. See, what's coming? And that's what I'm saying. You see what is coming? You've seen Gaise Baba. Gaise Baba is a foretaste. Gaise Baba is, I dare say, I'm like someone who breaks open the ground.
Like a harbinger.
Something like that. What is coming? Young people who are cooked, who are on fire, but then they're on dreads. They're on ripped jeans. Some might have studs. When they burst, you hear utterance. So the world has not seen this kind before.
So that's a shift.
Even the old generation is struggling to understand it. It's a new movement. These are not loafers. These people aren't sleeping around. They have consecration that beats some of the consecrations that precedes them. So you're just looking at, people are looking on the outside, seeing tinted hair. Do you know my consecration? Do you know what I do in the secret place? If you hear my words, you know that I'm no random person. This is because there's a new generation I'm connecting with. I'm as deep, as anointed, as called, and as sent as any father of faith you have seen in the history of time.
I like the passion. And stay the course. I think that's the only advice I'll give to you and to the successor generation who are championing or at the vanguard of this. Stay the course. Gaise Baba, it's always a delight to have you. I've always said that. I've listened to you, and I think I can say you're not a random person. your depth is beyond the shallow waters. But thank you for coming on the program. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, that's it on the program. It's Friday. I always advise, make sure you have yourself a very beautiful weekend. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a restful weekend. I'm Bukola Koka.
And if you're one of those young people still cooking, don't worry. The world is ready very soon. So keep cooking. Have a great weekend. I'm Kayode Okikelu. Remember, no turning back.